Hello, my name is Mahela Alt, and I am attending Grand Canyon University studying education. The questions that I'm going to cover in this video today are: what dispositions do I possess to help me be a successful teacher? 2, what dispositions do you think that I need to work on before I become a first-year teacher? Number 3, how do my dispositions demonstrate abilities to understanding cultures, genders, and learning differences, etc.? And how can I better my relationships with my students and their families? And number 4 is, how can I anticipate using feedback from observations and evaluations, and how can I adjust my dispositions and learn and teaching strategies to benefit my students in learning? Number 1, what dispositions do I possess that makes me a successful teacher? Is I'm caring and kind to those around me. I'm approachable to students who would need my help. I am committed to the classroom and all my students. If you're not committed to the classroom and your students, the outcome will show that you're not committed. I have a positive attitude to learning new things. I embrace change, and I accept everybody for who they are. What dispositions do I think I need to work on? Definitely taking criticism, because even though that criticism is there to help you, sometimes I take it as a negative offense, and I feel like I'm just not, that I wouldn't be, that I can't be a successful teacher, or that I won't be able to make it in the teaching world over things that are said to me that are supposed to help me instead of drag me down. Number 3, how do my dispositions demonstrate abilities to understanding other cultures, genders, and learning differences? And how can it help me build a relationship with my students and families? And how can being biased affect a student's learning? So first of all, I accept everybody for who they are. Cultures, I accept them for who they are as well. I also think it's important to talk a lot about culture, considering I'm adopted and I'm actually from Romania. So that's another way for me to be able to connect with my students. Some students that I have in my classroom right now that I am IAing for right now, I'm an IA. They too are from different countries, and even English isn't their first language. And sometimes in our classrooms, we do end up doing something cultural and being able to teach each other about each other's culture, which I think is a really great icebreaker among students and teacher to student. So culture is definitely a way for me to connect with my families and my students and help me build a better relationship. Also, learning differences also helps me. I know what it's like to struggle learning and having a learning disability. And so I feel like I can better help my students in the future if they would have a learning disability, just knowing what it's like to struggle. And how can being biased affect a student's learning? It can affect their motivation to wanting to learn the material. It could make them feel like you like another student versus you liking them. And they could feel unwanted. They could feel like you as the educator, that you don't care about them, which in my classroom, I care about everybody and want everybody to feel like that we're all in this together and that we are a big family and nobody's left out. Number 4, how do you anticipate using your feedback from any annual observation or evaluations to adjust any dispositions or practices to benefit learning? So how I want to use my feedback from any observation or evaluation is to make sure student engagement is a priority. And I also want to make sure that I make goals for myself and my students and for my classroom. And I want to improve my planning process, and I want to be able to have time to reflect on things that worked in my classroom and things that don't. I hope these things helped you be able to plan for your classroom and for you to have a successful first year. Thank you so much for watching.